Hello, friends. Welcome back to Beyond the Screen, the Family Connection podcast. I'm Dr. Samantha Hayes, educator, parent, and founder of Beyond the Screen Families. This podcast is here to help you raise well rounded kids, strengthen family connections, and bring balance to screen time in a world where screens are everywhere. Today, we're talking about something I know so many parents ask about, and it's how do I get my kids excited about screen-free fun without it feeling like a battle? Because frankly, I hear all the time that that's actually what it becomes, a battle. And the answer? Let them help plan it. If you know me, this shouldn't be any shock to you because I am a big fan of bringing kids into the game, right? Bringing them in, having them participate at every single age. From 2, maybe even a little lower, and beyond. When kids have a say, they feel ownership and are far more likely to actually want to participate. Imagine that. I mean, think about ourselves, right? If we're told to do something, if we're forced to do something, we immediately put up that guard and we're like, nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And if your kids are anything like mine, they might be saying the same thing. So today I'm going to walk you through age appropriate strategies and give you real life examples that you can try this week. One of the quickest ways to run into conflict around screen time is to making it feel like something parents force on kids. Get off your device because I said so. But what if we flip the script and let kids help make the plan? Then something suddenly shifts, right? Suddenly, this is their activity, their idea, their adventure. It's not something forced. It's something that they feel like they have a stake in now, right? Including kids in the planning process helps them practice decision making, creativity, and also compromise. It builds responsibility and it sends a clear message. Your ideas matter in this family. Full stop. And that is magic. That is where the power happens. And psst, it doesn't just have to be that you do this with screen-free activities. I'm telling you, letting them have input in multiple different stages makes a world of difference. And I know you're probably being like, but they can't have input on everything. And sometimes that's where just options come in, right? And we're going to talk about that as we get through like the age breakdown and how to do this by age. But, 2 options. You can either put on your shoes or you can stay home. And if that's not a feasible option to stay home, don't give it, right? I'm talking about feasible options here. But options make a world of difference because choice matters. Like I can't say that enough. Choice matters. If you leave with one thing today, leave with the idea that choice matters. Okay, so let's break it down by age group when we're talking about screen-free plans or other things or screen minimal plans. So you can see how it might work in real life with your actual kids. Okay, toddlers to preschoolers. We're talking about that like 2 to 5-ish age kid. Give them 2 or 3 clear options to choose from. So you are providing the options. They have the choice within those options. For example, should we build a fort or have a backyard picnic? The key here with toddlers to preschoolers is to provide choice without the overwhelm, right? 2 to 3. Don't give them five choices. That becomes overwhelming. It's going to turn into something you're not going to want to see, probably. There might be some tears. There might be some tantrums. There might be like a whole bunch of stuff that happens. Two to three options for those toddlers and preschoolers. Early elementary kids, and we're talking kindergarten through second grade. These kids can start brainstorming with you. You might say, we're going to have a screen free hour on Saturday. What are three fun things we could do? Then let them decorate like a little chart where you post their ideas. Maybe you just like have a sheet and you write it down. Maybe you vote. Be clear about your expectations up front. I want your input. I'm going to make the decision. Or we're going to gather everybody's ideas, we're going to put them in a jar, and we're going to draw one, right? Be specific and clear. I'm pretty sure I say that on several podcast episodes at the now. Specific and clear, specific and clear. Still providing choice, but notice how the choice has shifted from that toddler preschool to the early elementary kiddos. First, we're giving options. Now we're letting them and encouraging them to help brainstorm the ideas. Then we get to the upper elementary kids, and those are the kiddos who are 3 to 5, third through fifth grade, not 3 to 5 in age, third through fifth grade. Here, you can hand over just a little bit more ownership. Maybe it's something like giving them a small budget. I have a friend who her granddaughter is a master at this because her parents, my friend's daughter, are doing something amazing. And this is not screen particularly related, but it's the same vein. So she gets to decide for her birthday, does she want to have a birthday party or go out and do something with the family? Here's the thing. They let her know your budget is X. Your budget is $200, for example. If you want the birthday party with your friends, you get to plan the party for $200. If we go out, you pick a place where we can go do it for $200. That's an appropriate amount of responsibility for those upper elementary kiddos. And they will love having say in this. Fourth grade was my favorite grade to teach in, and that was my jam, right in the center of that. But third through fifth was where I spent a lot of time teaching, and those were my favorite kiddos. Those kiddos love this kind of independence. So let's go back to the screen free, same vein. Let's go back to our screen free. Maybe it's something like, I want to have a screen free Saturday. Your budget is $10. What do you want to plan? And it doesn't have to be budget related either, right? We're going to have a screen free Saturday and we're not going to spend any money. What do you think we should do? Hand over more of that ownership, and the kids will just relish in it and flock to planning this. Middle schoolers. This age thrives on independence and creativity. And maybe you're like, but I have a middle schooler who's not very creative. I'm gonna encourage you to like step back and think about the things that they're doing that are creative because they most likely are. They're picking out like their style and all of those things. Those are all creative aspects. Okay, so for middle schoolers, you might assign them as the activity captain for the week. Their job, plan a screen-free family moment for everyone to do together. They get to plan that. You can also give them the budget too. But maybe you're like, okay, we have no screen time Monday through Friday. We have these activities. I'd like for us to do something as a family on Thursday night. Can you plan that for us? And give them the reins, hand it over. The thing is, you also have to be willing to partake in what they're asking you to do, even if it's super silly. And teens, now teens. We're going to go past the middle school age and talk about teens. The ones who usually have those personal devices, if you haven't given it already, because now they're involved in all of these activities and there's after school and all these things. And all of a sudden, we feel like we need to connect our teens with a personal device. And trust me, I get it. So, what are we doing here? Now we're talking collaboration. Ask your teen to look at the family calendar with you and schedule some fun activities. Give them space to suggest things they genuinely want to do as a family, whether it's cooking together, playing a sport, tackling a home project. If they have buy in, they're far more likely to show up with a good attitude. Now, notice I said far more likely because we are working with teens and the hormones are fluctuating like crazy, but far more likely to show up with a good attitude. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and maybe you're like, I am going to turn this podcast off right now. Please don't. If you let your kids plan, they're going to suggest things that maybe are too messy, too expensive, or frankly, not even possible. Here's the solution, and I already hinted to it. Set boundaries before you brainstorm. Be clear and specific. Do they have a budget? Is there a time limit? Is there a messy factor on a scale of 1 to 10? We want to keep it at a 5 with a clear understanding of what that looks like. So you might say something like this. We're planning something we can do at home in less than an hour with things we already have. That way, their ideas fit within the container you've created. So, still so much choice, but you've provided the boundaries and the guidance for them to create something that fits inside of it. And remember, it's okay to veto, but explain why if you do, because that's going to help them understand and be a better planner in the future. A simple, that's a great idea, but today we need something a little shorter. Let's save that one for next weekend. Teaches flexibility while still honoring their input. So now I want to give you a few more real world examples. So you might want to try something like a fun jar. And that's just a fun jar, really? A jar. And let's say every Friday night, each child writes down one screen-free idea, drops it in the jar, and then the family picks one to do over the weekend. Remember, give the boundaries, give the parameters, but you have this special jar. Now, you can choose to, at the end of the weekend, dump them out or just keep collecting all of these fun ideas. It becomes such a collaborative idea and project together. You provide the parameters so everything can kind of remain in it, but everybody has choice and power. Another option might be like a Sunday night family council, like family meetings. If your family is into like getting together, having discussions where each child gets a chance to pitch an idea of the week. Now think about the learning involved in that, pitching an idea. Parents then choose one idea from each child, making sure every voice is heard. Or you're very clear and specific. We will choose one idea this week, right? Just be clear. And one more. A parent told me her teen now organizes a monthly family cook-off. They plan the menu, shop for ingredients, and everyone gets involved in cooking. It started as a teen's idea, and now it's become a tradition everyone looks forward to. That is powerful. So, as you think of your own family, here are a few reflection questions to take with you today. How much ownership do my kids currently feel in our screen-free family time? Really reflect on that and think about it. and think about, are my kids more likely to push back when they feel like they don't have the choice? Am I the dictator and then that they're pushing back and that's the reason? What's one small way I could hand over more decision making this week? Because handing over that decision making can also feel scary and powerless as a parent when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to let them choose a screen free activity for us. And I don't know how this is going to go. So think about something small you could hand over this week. What's one small thing? Start small. Always start small. How might our family culture change if screen time became something kids looked forward to because it was their idea? So the three questions again: how much ownership do my kids currently feel in screen time? What's one small way I could hand over more decision making this week? And how might our family culture change if screen free time became something that kids look forward to? Remember, you don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Even one small planning shift can change the energy in your home. If you're ready to take this further, our Essentials Pack subscribers get exclusive tools each month to make screen free time simple, engaging, and fun for the whole family. The September bonus item is something you don't want to miss. It's designed to make screen free planning even easier because it's for the trips. And there are so many options built in to the screen-free travel kit. I mean, just think about that. We're going to take a trip. One of the things is a list of different items that I suggest and recommend. We're going to make a trip. I'm going to buy you two no items from this list. They're all reasonably priced. Trust me, I do not recommend going and buying these expensive toys. They're all reasonably priced. You get to pick it, and then you get to pack your bag, right? If you know, I took a 10-hour trip with my daughter, had her pack her bag. I didn't ask her input on the screen-free item that I got her and packed with her, but we had an easy screen-free flight. And we spent 10 hours between the airports and the actual flights. So you don't want to miss it. You can join today by heading to beyondthescreensfamily.com/shop and become a subscriber. And if you subscribe in the month of September, even though it's already gone out to Essential Pack subscribers, I will make sure that you get a copy as well. So thanks for listening to Beyond the Screen, the Family Connection podcast. If you liked this episode, make sure you like and share it with others. Please also make sure to follow us on any of your social medias. We're at Beyond the Screen Families. And here's to helping you raise well-rounded kids and create moments that stick. See you next time, friends.